Have you ever clicked on one of those sarcastic videos that says something to the effect of, if you dislike paying lower taxes, if you dislike having a good time, if you dislike going to the beach, if you dislike beautiful weather, then South Florida is not for you? Well, then guess what? That is not this video. In this video series, we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty details, things about Deerfield Beach that you must know, negatives that you must be able to handle before you even consider living here or moving here. Welcome to Life in South Florida with Joe and Sil, where we do not pull any punches. And guys, before I get into the nitty gritty, I do want to say that Deerfield Beach is an awesome place to live. I have a lot of fun hanging out there on the weekends. I call Deerfield Beach my backyard. It is my favorite beach to visit. There's a lot of great things that I do say about Deerfield Beach. In fact, if you stay tuned to the very end of this video and click on any of these other links on the left and right hand side, you're gonna find that I have lots of content created around the many fun things to do in Deerfield Beach. But in today's episode, we're gonna talk about some of the not so good things that you need to know about. Are you ready? Let's go. Deerfield Beach, Florida has terrible schools. That's right, I said it, and you don't have to get mad at me. You can just go ahead and go directly to the school district and complain to them. Because if you go on any internet search website, check out greatschools.org, for example, you're going to see that Deerfield Beach school system, from the elementary school all the way up to the high school, is lackluster, to say the least. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the best, they score anywhere between 2 and about 4 points. And so as a result, we can conclude that the Deerfield Beach public school system is not good. Most people who I talk to that are either moving to Deerfield Beach or currently live there will either fall into one of the three categories. 1, they're either homeschooling their children, or 2, they're sending their children to a private school, or 3, they're retired and their children are now adults and the idea for schooling has become completely irrelevant to them. And so, if great public schools are important to you, then I think it's very important that you know that Deerfield Beach ranks among some of the least desirable public school systems in all of South Florida. And now our second con is going to be Deerfield Beach tourism, parking, and traffic. Because let's face it, they're all related to each other. They all hinge together anyway. Now, tourism is a little bit subjective. Some people, when they go to the beach or when they hang out in their local hometown favorite areas, they prefer the local feel and they don't want to be bothered with noisy, arrogant, loud tourists. Personally, I don't think that's the case for Deerfield Beach. And personally, I like visiting Deerfield Beach and feeling like I'm on vacation because there are a lot of tourists there. But some people will think that the tourism feel is just not for them. They prefer the hometown vibe. So that's a little bit subjective. Really depends on how you respond to a very transient environment. I think it's pretty cool and fun. I mean, you really get the same feeling when you visit Fort Lauderdale or Miami Beach or any of the other major beachfront locations. But one thing for certain that everybody agrees about is whenever tourist season comes into play, that the parking could be a major ball buster and the traffic takes no prisoners either. Weekend beach traffic during some phenomenal weather is horrendous. And for a local like myself who lives 8 miles west of the beach, I know better than to travel during peak hours down Hillsborough Boulevard over the bridge into Deerfield Beach, because it's literally gonna take you 3 times longer to get to the oceanfront if you would have just simply gotten there earlier or waited a little bit longer to get in when it wasn't prime time. And then when you finally get in there, good luck finding a parking space. Now, there are some local secrets about parking, which I can't share with you on this channel because I wouldn't be a secret anymore. But what I can tell you is that those local secrets for parking are quickly disappearing as the years go on. And so for me, it's gotten to the point where I just go to the local restaurant, valet the car, pay the 20 bucks or whatever it is, enjoy a meal at the local restaurant, and then leave the local restaurant and then visit the beach. The restaurant appreciates the patronage. I get beachfront front row parking. All in all, it's really not that expensive. And at the end of the day, I don't have to wait much longer or drive around in circles like a maniac looking for the next parking spot. And so between the tourism, horrendous parking, and crowded traffic during peak hours at the beach on a weekend, that's definitely another con that you should know about Deerfield Beach, Florida. The third con that I want to elaborate is something that everyone knows about, but not everybody knows everything about, and that is the weather. The weather pretty much falls into 3 different categories: heat and humidity, rain, and storms. South Florida is famous for our phenomenal weather. Throughout the entire year, people always visit because they want to have fun in the sun. In the wintertime, usually our weather is about 75 degrees. It rarely rarely rains, and there's not a cloud in the sky. Sometimes in the evening, it gets as low as 55 degrees whenever a cold front comes in. And for a Floridian, that's considered cold. And I know if you're a northerner, you're probably laughing at that, but we think that's cold. In the summertime, however, it can be brutally hot. We're talking 90 degrees, intense humidity from the moment that you walk out the door of your house to your car and you get in and you turn the car on, you get the AC going. Too late, you're already sweating. And ladies, your hair already went poof. It's just the nature of the beast living in the tropical climate of South Florida. And so the summertime heat and humidity can be pretty rough. Which brings me to storm season. Now I want to specify, storm season should not be confused with hurricane season. The media says that hurricane season starts in June and lasts July, August, September, October, November. But the fact is, hurricane preparedness season really starts in June, July, August. If you look at the history of South Florida hurricanes, you will notice that every hurricane that hit landfall in history, Category 1 or higher, has been in the later months, September, October, November. And so a major negative about living in Deerfield Beach, Florida is that when these storms come through, if it's a Category 1 or a Category 2, usually the media freaks everybody out and people rush to the grocery store to stock up on last-minute emergency hurricane supplies. And because of this, it is a major inconvenience whenever one of these storms approaches South Florida. Now, you can speak to any local who has been here for at least 10 or 20 years, and they will probably agree and say a Category 1 or a Category 2 is just not that big a deal. I am not downgrading or downplaying the level of safety that one should take in the event that a storm is headed our direction. You should always take the appropriate measures to protect you and your family whenever the storm arrives. For example, if the storm is headed towards us and it's a Category 2, well then it's very possible that that storm could build up enough speed and strength to become a Category 4 by the time it hits landfall. And every local who has lived here for at least 10 or 20 years will agree that a Category 3 or higher is serious business. Okay, the next con that I want to share with you is the seaweed at the beach. Now, this is something that has happened in more recent years in all of South Florida. Now, I'm also not a marine biologist, but here are some things that I've noticed. Recently, my parents came down from New York to visit South Florida. They paid a pretty penny to stay in a very nice hotel on the beach, and they were very disappointed to find that when they arrived to the beach, that it was covered in this really stinky seaweed. Now, you would think that the city officials would be spending a lot of money in the upkeep, maintenance, and preservation of the beach, which they do, but no matter how many trucks they send out there in the early mornings to rake up all of the seaweed that's being washed up on a shore, they cannot outwork the way that nature continues to bring itself back up onto the sand. This seaweed is known as sargassum. Sounds like the word sarcasm, but sargassum. Unfortunately, some of these beach conditions really have kept a lot of locals away from going to the beach, and they've also kept some tourism away from checking into some beach hotels because it looks ugly and it doesn't smell good either. I, for one, do not want to have to swim in the water that looks like that. These seaweed invasions don't happen all the time. I'm going to show you the Deerfield Beach live beach cam, and you could see for yourself right now in real time exactly what the ocean front looks like. You can see it is completely pristine. Everything looks beautiful, and that's a good thing. However, do not be surprised if you have a trip planned to Deerfield Beach and when you arrive that the sand does not look the same way as it does in the video I just showed you. This type of seaweed does come at random, and I do think it's more seasonal than anything. Something to certainly watch out for. All right, enough about seaweed and parking and hurricanes. Let's get into the nittiest of the grittiest. Let's talk about the high crime rate in Deerfield Beach, Florida. Sadly, the crime rate is most likely an appendage of what we might see coming out of the public school system in Deerfield Beach, Florida. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go into the computer system, and I want to show you exactly where you could go to search crime rates all over the country, and you could get very detailed and specific into any given area. Also, if you haven't already, take the opportunity right now to click the subscribe button below. Don't forget to ring the bell. You will be first to be notified whenever I make brand new videos just like this one. Type in crimemapping.com. Type in Deerfield Beach. There it is, comes right up. From the left-hand side here, we're gonna go with when, custom time range, click on custom time range. From today's date, that's right now, and we're gonna go back to January 1st. The longest it'll allow you to go back is year to date, January 1st. So here we go. January 1st to today's date. There are 258 records. That's 258 police records of crime that has been in Deerfield Beach. This original search does not include, right here, sex offender data. Now for me to display the sex offender data, I'm just gonna go ahead and click display. The number just jumped from 258 to 272. That's 14 sex offenders that are registered living in this map view of Deerfield Beach. This is not all of Deerfield Beach. This is only what the map is showing. Right now, it's 272 in total, which includes registered sex offenders. And if I click this minus button right here, it's gonna zoom out. And when the map zooms out, the number will go higher. See that? We now have 642 criminal records, including sex offenders. When you go into these crime maps, down here in the left-hand corner, go ahead and click the chart button. It's going to populate a pie graph for us. And you're gonna notice that now we have a pie chart of the different crimes in the city. And in Deerfield Beach, over the last 6 months or so, year to date, we can see in our pie chart the types of crime. I think the more heavily weighted crime is gonna be in the area of burglary, maybe homicide, certainly homicide, motor vehicle theft, robbery. All right, well, there you have it, folks. What did you think about some of those reasons? Pretty strange, huh? If you enjoyed the content, please take the opportunity right now to click the subscribe button below. Don't forget to ring the bell so you can be first to be notified whenever I drop brand new content of what it's like to live in sunny South Florida. And like always, many blessings.